If you love Charleston, great wine, great food, and celebrating the people who make this city taste incredible, you're going to love today's episode. We are chatting with Alyssa Maute Smith from Charleston Wine Food.
This is Charleston Women Podcast, where you can meet like-minded, strong, independent, professional, and inspiring local women. This is Charleston Women Podcast.
Hello, this is Kim Russo, your host of the Charleston Women Podcast. Today we're joined by Alyssa Maute Smith, Executive Director of Charleston Wine Food, the powerhouse behind one of Charleston's most iconic annual events. This year marks the festival's 20th anniversary, and Alyssa is here to share what's new, what's exciting, and what we can look forward to in March. Welcome, Alyssa.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and it's the 20th anniversary, so it's really exciting to have you here leading into March 2026. And can you just kind of give me a little bit of a backstory of what makes Charleston Wine Food so special in Charleston?
Yeah, Charleston Wine Food will celebrate its 20th anniversary in March 4th through 8th, and the people and the stories for sure is the special sauce of this festival. It's a platform for sharing those, and I definitely am biased being from here and living here, but Charleston's food and beverage community just is filled with the greatest people and the most giving philanthropic group that I've ever had the privilege of working with. So the festival tries to bring all that together around food and really good wine and get to celebrate the things that we get to partake in all year here.
How special is that you're from here? So how did you get started and involved in, how long have you been involved in Charleston Wine and Food?
Yeah, I am. I grew up here. I live on James Island. I grew up on James Island. So it feels like a full circle moment. And getting to work here is definitely a dream of mine. I had my own business when I had come back after, traveling, and I got into some PR communications work and found my way into events and quickly got sucked in to that. Events are super exciting, a ton of work, but the adrenaline rush of being on the ground in the event, the backbone of events is hospitality at the ethos of it. It is serving others, creating spaces where people get to connect, have fun, create memories. And so that sucked me in and I loved it. And I slowly started getting involved with a lot of other events in Charleston. So the 2016 festival was the first one I was involved in with this organization. They were actually a client of my company then. Wow. I ended up ending my company and joining full-time on the team when a full-time position became available. And I served as their marketing communications director for about 6 years. And when the executive director position became open, the board put up a national search for a new executive director, and I threw my hat in the ring and really, really honored to be selected to lead the organization forward. It's been a whole lot of learning and a lot of fun. I couldn't imagine in my wildest dreams that I would end up here if someone were to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up, or what do you want to do? But it is a really cool thing to get to talk about your hometown on a national stage, and not that many people get that opportunity.
Yeah, well, how awesome is it to hire within and help grow and support the community instead of, reaching for somebody outside and bringing somebody else in. So I know our own managing editor, Angel Holmes, she was on the original board. That's kind of a full circle moment, I feel like, for y'all to be a part of Charleston Women magazine.
It really is. So Angel's a founding executive director. I mean, she really put in a lot of time, effort, very much a grassroots movement in the early years of the organization, a lot of volunteers. I think it's very evident, and it still is, that this community loves this organization and this festival so much because so many people have poured so much into helping it grow into what it's become today. And, if it weren't for Angel and Chef Mark Collins and several other individuals that sat around a table or hey, I think Charleston needs this, I don't know what really would have happened. So it is cool to see it turn 20 years old this year, and getting to celebrate that is a huge honor.
What are some of the exciting things that maybe it's different from past years because it is the 20th anniversary? I know I'll be heading to Pinot Noir. I already have my ticket for that. So what
Yes.
exciting events do you have?
Actually, I've started kind of working on the 20th anniversary schedule for the last like two festivals. When planning the 2025 festival schedule, there were some things and concepts that started to bubble up from conversations that we were having in the community that were like, oh no, that's something we want to save for this anniversary celebration. So each year when we produce the festival, it really is based off of what the community wants to see. So we have a full-time team here that works at the nonprofit year-round, but we go out in the community and have, hundreds of conversations. Our programming duo is consistently keeping up to date with, restaurateurs, chefs, beverage professionals, hoteliers, and just us farmers, purveyors, us having those conversations of, what's exciting you, what's motivating you. What stories do you feel like we haven't highlighted? Who do you feel like we need to highlight? And from all of that kind of research and gathering is where current themes start to bubble up. And that's how we finalize event concepts. So the 20th was just like that. We have a couple special events on the schedule that were a throwback from the early years. So definitely bringing back some festival favorites. Pinot Envy is one of those that was like a beloved event of the festival. Bubbles and Sweets was a year one event that celebrated pastry chefs and had fantastic, effervescent wines that were paired with it. And we're bringing that back for the 20th. And then throughout the rest of the schedule, you'll see this theme of past, present, future. So utilizing the 20th anniversary of Charleston Wine and Food, not just to celebrate this milestone for the organization, but really looking back at why the organization was started in the first place. And it was to help build a culinary brand for Charleston and to help bring recognition to this area and to our food and beverage scene. So there's that theme you'll notice of past, present, future of, honoring kind of early foundation setters that help set the scene for Charleston to become poised to be a food destination. Present, really recognizing what's happening currently in our food and beverage community here. And then there's moments where we like to use our platform to help launch the next generation. What's next? Who's up and coming? Who should people be watching and keeping their eye on? Because that's what it's all about, is continuing to mentor and build up that future generation. And thankfully, we have the platform that we can offer that to those individuals.
In 1996, it was Southern Women to Women magazine. Now it's Charleston Women magazine. Charleston Women is all about strong, capable, confident, hardworking, nurturing, determined, dedicated, and inspiring women. Our readers are business owners, entrepreneurs, mothers, sisters, wives, and grandmothers. Pick up your copy of Charleston Women magazine at Charleston area Harris Teeters and Food Lions. Charleston Women magazine. We are Charleston Women.
You're listening to the Charleston Women Podcast.
Speaking of community and really getting out there, you guys are launching a culinary and hospitality foundation. How did that come to be?
It's a supporting nonprofit. It's a supporting foundation of Charleston Wine and Food. So Charleston Wine and Food's a 501c3. And when they set up the 501c3 organization, the core kind of tenet was the 5K festival. Mm-hmm. That was how they wanted to measure, economic impact. And really the goal was to utilize this festival to create a platform to showcase the food and beverage community and help it grow. So since the inception of the organization, we've done $210 million for the greater Charleston area and economic impact, which is huge. And it's really started to grow beyond that. So education was a core tenet of the organization's give back from the early years. We have a strong scholarship relationship with the College of Charleston and with Trident's Culinary Institute of Charleston.
Okay.
And we wanted to lean even further into that education and workforce development. So the foundation's goal is to really focus on programs that build a sustainable, vibrant, and connected culinary community. So using the festival that is the platform to really feed into that next generation. So we now have a high school program. It's getting ready to be our fourth installment. So in 2023, we piloted this program at the festival. It was super successful and something that we wanted to grow. We have an official relationship with CCSD, and they're public high schools that have culinary programs within, as well as Dorchester too.
How many high schools do you have on board so far?
10. We're in 10 high schools now. So it's grown a ton in the past couple of years. And we serve about 1,200 students annually. So we bring, chefs into the classroom, other careers within culinary and hospitality into these classrooms to supplement learning. They teach courses, mentorship. And then during the festival, the students have the ability to participate in a paid externship opportunity where they work right alongside our professional chefs, both here locally and from all over. And last year was the first year we had students actually execute chef stations from start to finish on their own. Just as you would be a guest, like walking around the Culinary Village tasting bites from chefs from all over the Charleston area, we had high school students doing that as well. And the food was fantastic. They did such a great job and had so much fun in the process.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes. So you've got the students involved, you've got, not just a festival to plan all year. What are some of the kind of fun behind the scene moments that go into planning the festival and including the high schoolers into it?
Yeah, it's so much more than 5 days. The 5 days help fuel the other 360 days for us. And this new supporting foundation is something that we want to push even forward in that space of like workforce and education and continuing to give back to the community that we celebrate at the festival. I mean, there's so many behind the scenes moments that are fun. People often don't realize how much work goes into planning the event and all the small details. And if anything with live events, it's a lot of details, but when you bring in that culinary component on top of it, it just takes it to the next level. So in our Culinary Village, we build out a commercial kitchen from scratch, like literally in a tent, DHEC certified. It's got to have, ranges and fryers and hood vents and electric and refrigeration and running water and all of this stuff. And that's really the powerhouse behind Culinary Village and some of our offsite events. Mm-hmm. And people don't often even realize that. They're like, oh, I didn't know you had like a commercial grade kitchen and an 18-wheeler refrigeration truck where all the food is stored. And it's just all those small details that bring the event to life.
Now, I've personally had a lot of fun at some events, and I'm looking forward to going to some in March. If somebody who's never heard of Charleston Wine and Food, or they're visiting, what are some of the special events that they can look forward to, and kind of what's the rundown of the schedule?
Charleston Wine and Food Festival is 5 days long, kicks off on a Wednesday, goes through Sunday. By the time we wrap on Sunday at the finale, we will have produced 90 individual events for over 26,000 people, both locals and visitors. So I always recommend for somebody who's new, the Culinary Village is like a great entry point into Charleston Wine and Food. It's a grand tasting experience, but even kind of a level beyond that, there's super fun activation. So you're going to get to taste bites from fantastic chefs, sip wine, spirits, cocktails, beer. We even have a non-alcoholic garden with non-alc options. So lots of beverages, lots of food sampling. There's live music in that space all day, all 3 days that event goes on. And then we have a demo stage where we bring in like top culinary talent on that stage to do demonstrations. So this year, Vivian Howard will take the stage, super great chef and really fun to watch in a live demo situation. We also have the winner of Top Chef season 22. Tristan Epps is coming in town. He'll be on that stage. So Culinary Village is like a great kind of entry point, and it gives you a taste of what all the other Charleston Wine and Food events are in just one. Mm-hmm. And then outside of that, I would say check out some of our signature events. Pinot Envy has a handful of tickets left, but that one's probably going to sell out in the next couple of weeks. A ton of really great wineries. But I think opening night has to be my favorite. Like that event, the kickoff of the festival, it happens downtown in the Cistern at the College of Charleston, which is just such a beautiful venue and magical. And it's 35 of Charleston chefs all in one event. And that is super cool to get to see and taste and there's a live band. It's just got an energy. It feels like the city just comes alive. So I would definitely say opening night in the Culinary Village would be two that I would recommend to like a first timer. The tickets go on sale in October, and a lot of our smaller seated things go very quickly. We still have some dinners, lunches, and brunches that have tickets. There's a handful of cooking classes that still have some tickets. But you're pretty safe with like Culinary Village is large. It's 3,600 people per day. So I would take a peek at Culinary Village. And then some of our signature events, our evening ones are close to 1,000 people per night. And then we have a daytime series that are a little bit smaller. Mm-hmm. So those are always great options if you're a last minute ticket purchaser of trying to find something out. But, a couple months still, I would go ahead and snag your tickets so you're not missing out, because it really is it's a full citywide celebration.
You've been a part of this for 20 years now. Is there any one or two events that have happened that you are just stand out in your mind, even being the best, the worst, anything that is just really something that is a story that you tell all the time when you think about your years?
I mean, there are so many moments of things where you plan and you plan and you plan and something still goes wrong, So those in the moment, honestly, if you're into events, those are the moments that like, as an event person, you're like, oh yeah, I live for that. Like, give me a problem to solve and like, we will figure it out. Like anyone kind of in that realm of work, how it is. They're like problem solving ninjas. So, I mean, I can think of many times where we've had like crazy things happen that you wouldn't imagine. So there was one time our crystal glassware. So we order Stozel commemorative glass that gets branded with the Wine and Food logo. People love them and collect them.
I think I have some.
But they get shipped over from Germany. And there was one time when the company contacted us and was like, so the ship that all the glassware was coming over on the States was seized by pirates. And the order is not going to make it to the festival in time.
Oh my gosh, what do you do?
I never thought that we would get a phone call like that. I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, but we got it. We figured it out. We pieced it together. We have enough like spaces within, enough orders that we could pull from different areas in the States. And we figured it out. And
is that good marketing to have pirates distribute your branded glasses? I don't know.
I have no idea where they ended up. That was probably a problem that I never thought would cross paths with, but
you all have to be problem solvers.
And then there are events that you just remember as like being like just super special. So we did an event a couple years ago called Matriarchs of the Lowcountry, and it honored Miss Emily Meggett was one of the honorees of Matriarchs in the Lowcountry. And we were able to have her in person at the event, recognize her cookbook, her daughters were present. Later that year, she passed away, and it was really special to have had the opportunity to recognize her and for her to receive all of those accolades and like how many people she had influenced and how many people she had fed. And that was definitely a super special moment, because I feel like there are many times where we don't tell people those things until they're gone, and then they don't have the opportunity to hear them. So that was one that I just will forever remember, being able to recognize her and have her get to witness the love and the impact that she had made in her life.
How can people get involved if they want to volunteer? Do you take volunteers? I know sponsors are a big thing to kind of fuel the event. Alex Trident, a good friend of mine, I know his shout out is helping you with sponsorships this year and in the past. So what can listeners do to really get involved, since it's such a community event and Charleston women love to be involved and help out?
There is a ton of ways to still be involved. Volunteer for sure. We have a great group of volunteers that come. It's a lot of fun to get to volunteer too. You get to see, behind the scenes of how everything comes together and work. If you're an epic foodie, like there's opportunities to volunteer where you're working directly with chefs, which is fun. So if you go on our website, there's a get involved section, and you can click there to sign up to volunteer. And someone from our volunteer team will reach out to you to, engage and talk about what opportunities there might still be for the festival. So volunteer is a great way to get involved. Sponsors, or even just businesses that might be looking for ways to reward their employees, entertain clients, networking. A lot of business is done around the table. Charleston Wine and Food is no different. It's a great way. Who wouldn't want to taste small bites with a glass of wine in hand and be like, oh yeah, that's an awesome way to engage with people at work. So there's still opportunities for that as well. And it's a lot of fun and a memorable way to put your brand in front of, the community. Mm-hmm. So that's another way. Again, on the website, there's a get involved section and you can see how do I become a partner, or how can I purchase maybe a ticket package to bring, guests along with me to the festival. So we'd love the help. It is 100% a community supported event, and one that a lot of people get involved with. And it's a whole lot of fun.
Also, to get tickets, what's the best way that people can still snag some of their tickets before they're gone?
Yeah. So if you go to the website on our schedule page, there's a filter on there that will say, available. And so you can choose by category of, I only want to see things that have tickets, or I want to see things that have tickets that's also a dinner. And there's a great filtering option on there. So you can kind of filter through the 90 plus events and see what still has tickets. But you can buy your tickets right online and they'll be sent to you via text, or you can do via email. So head on over to charlestonwineandfood.com, CHSWF.org, and take a look at what we have. We'd love to have you join us.
Alyssa, thank you so much for being on the Charleston Women podcast and sharing all things at Charleston Wine and Food with us. I know I can't wait for March to come and go out with my girlfriends. We all, group of 10 of us, have tickets so far. So
fun. That's
so love having you here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been great to get to chat with you and share about what we do even outside of the festival. So I hope people listening learn something new about the organization and how much we love Charleston and pour back into this community.
Well, I hope to see you all there. I'm Kim Russo, the host of your Charleston Women podcast, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for spending time with Charleston Women Podcast. Please like us and follow us on whatever platform you're using to access Charleston Women Podcast.